Mike's Daily Podcast.
Happy St. Paddy's Day to all my fellow Irelandish people. It is FF episode 1303, and you know what that means. Wait, I'm ahead of myself is what it means. 1302 is what it is. 1302. I get a little 1302. Okay, now that we figured that out, we have the Brewmaster.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
He's going to serve us some green root beer, I betcha. Also, Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player. And we'll bring you the segment.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Let's see, we'll do the segment that is called Ain't Life Grand? Oh, my name's not Paul. I like to say that because that was my dad's name. Hey, I have a lame song that just ended. Did you enjoy that? Thank you. Well,
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Don't worry, I'll fix all this in post. No, I won't. Won't touch it at all. So,
Mike's
yesterday,
Daily
I
Podcast.
was so happy.
Yeah!
Because Basil the Boxer's back. He is back, my friend. Yes. No longer does he look like he's at death's door. He is back. He's eating. Oh, God, is he eating. I got the antibiotics for him. Actually, we should do a segment of the word of dog, because I need to tell you what happened. My friend, I think this goes back over a month. The vet, okay, first off, last show I was talking about how vets, basically, they do very little for you. I mean, they may save your dog's life, but, oh gosh. They spent no time. My complaint was I got, no time with my vet. That was the last show. Then, yesterday, first off, they were supposed to call me, and then I ended up calling them. And then they said, we'll call you back in 10 minutes. And, well, they did. So, and the guy who called me had a really thick accent. It was kind of hard to understand him. But he proceeded to tell me that Basil had a bacterial infection. Look who walked in his blood system. And that was the problem. He had way too many white blood cells, and that means there was some kind of infection going on. I said, well, how could he have gotten it? And he said, I don't know, where'd you go before it happened? I said, well, we went to the beach. He goes, well, maybe he ate something on the beach. I said, he didn't eat anything on the beach. He said, well, it could come really from just about anything, is what he was saying. Okay, great. So I won't ever let my dog outside again? What? Basically, are you saying that my dog will be infected again and I'll have to pay another $400? Because that's what it cost after all the tests and then getting the antibiotics and then the thing for Basil's eyes, because his eyes got all puffy. I have to put this thing around his... I mean, you remember... did you ever see that movie Big Eyes with... I want to say Alicia Keys. Amy Adams! Don't know why Amy Adams and Alicia Keys are in the same part of my brain that I went to access. Look who else just walked in. But yeah, it's the big eyes and then the German guy who's in every frickin' thing. Whenever they need a go-to guy with accent, they get the guy from Inglourious Bastards, the mean Nazi dude who gets a swastika etched in his forehead at the end. But that guy, Christoph Waltz, thank you. Oddly enough, that was in the same part of the brain as Alicia Keys and Amy Adams. Don't know why. So they're in this movie together about the woman that painted the kids with the big eyes and dogs with big eyes, but it turned out that the husband took credit for it and kind of beat her down. It was a sad story. So that's what Basil looked like with these big eyes, because the eyes had puffed up, but it kind of looked like it was still part of the eyeball. It was weird. I would post a podcast picture of that, but that's not it today. So I started putting the ointment on, and end of the story is Basil's doing great. He's getting back to his old self. We went on a walk yesterday, and he wanted to walk. He wanted to eat. He was his old self. So that kind of was starting to happen before I gave him the medicine. Would he have healed up on his own without me going to the vet? Possibly, but now I know it's not cancer. There's, peace of mind costs money in the world. So I'm thankful that he's doing well regardless. And something to watch out for. I think possibly he got it from something to do with cow poop. I'll leave it at that. But a month ago, he had an interaction with cow poop. We were walking at Fairmont Ridge in Podcastro Valley, and there are a lot of cows there. Oh, by the way, so that might have happened. That's what might have caused it. If that's the case, that would explain why a month ago, after the cows, he was a little bit weak. I mentioned that on the show. And he has lost a lot of weight, and that could have started back then. He could have had this virus in his system for a month. This is my theory. The vet, of course, would neither confirm or deny that because he doesn't know. But what I was saying was Podcastro Valley is celebrating in the local paper, the Podcastro Valley Forum. That's not actually its real name. They had an article about pumpkin.
And here's today's podcast picture.
I don't have a picture of pumpkin, but I do have a picture of, well, I'll tell you that quickly. I mentioned this on the podcast before. Pumpkin was a pit bull that lived in Coal Canyon, this big East Bay Regional Park, not too far away from my house. Lived there for 6 months, over 6 months. And every time they tried to capture her, she would run away. She was just so skittish. And then finally, in the middle of winter, they were able to catch her because she kept going into one of the bathrooms at the park. And they figured that out, and they just actually basically put a leash around her and walked out with her. And there's pictures of her in the Podcastro Valley Forum looking all happy, and I can't wait to read the article. But I've already known all about it since I am part of this website called Nextdoor. And Nextdoor is sort of this social media. I don't know if anybody else uses them, but it's trying to get you familiar with your neighbors. And since this happened so close to me, basically in my neighborhood, there was all these posts about pumpkin. But the podcast picture has to do with Basil the Boxer. This was a couple months back when we went to Alameda. There's this place called Crab Cove, and he's not allowed on the beach, so that's why you see him looking out at the beach, wishing he could go on the beach and chase the birds, which I think a week ago today when we went to Half Moon Bay, he chased the birds for a long time, and he really strained himself doing it. And then the next day is when he got really sick. I think that virus was in his system the whole time, and in chasing after the birds as much as he did probably activated the virus, brought it up to a boil, and then that's why he was really bad off the past couple days. But that is Basil staring out at this little beach in Alameda. It's so weird. Alameda's got a beach. It's basically one of the only areas in the Bay Area where you actually have a beach you can walk out to. There's one over in San Francisco. There's really none south of Alameda. Yeah. There's nothing. And north of Alameda, you kind of have one at Point Isabel. Not really. Yeah. Oh, there's one over in Berkeley. But yeah, we're just not really beach savvy in the Bay, probably because the water is scary. But I am not a marine biologist. I don't know the consistency of the water, the aquifer, the spring water, and that's about it. That's today's show. Oh, happy St. Patrick's Day. Yes. So a couple people walked in, including this guy.
Hello, man. Can I make the root beer? Have some delicious root beer. It's green.
It is green. Wonderful. Just in time for St. Patrick's Day. Look who else.
Hi, Mark. It's Benita the rodeo queen. How are you? Why are you playing that music?
It's St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, stop.
And it's a disgruntled fiddle player, tell you what.
What?
I'm so happy that Trump is going to defund everything, including NPR.
Winning.
When NPR is not a winning. It's a losing channel.
Go!
And I hate it with every fiber of my being. I don't like the NPR.
Aw.
Trump's going to defund it.
Well, I have to admit, I've heard some awful shows on NPR lately. Yeah, there's some good stuff once in a while, and I really don't listen to it that much anymore. This is the one thing NPR does that is just deplorable. It's a basket full of deplorables. Thank you. It is, and thank you for that, for saying that.
But I just want to set the record straight.
Hillary, what they do now, and I only notice this, I only listen to NPR for the Weekend Edition show on Sunday morning, and sometimes Saturday morning. Yeah, I'll probably listen to it tomorrow morning. But they do this thing towards the end of the hour where they will spotlight a band, and the way it sounds is all you hear is the music, and then you hear the artist from the band talking about the music. And this one, I wanted to write NPR. This was so awful. They had this band, I think they were from Japan, and they just kept playing the same song over and over again. So, okay, like you hear this music behind me now. Imagine, all right, this is like basically I'm going to present the segment to you, what it would sound like. Okay, so here's this music playing. And then the host of the show, I forget his name, he goes, NPR Weekend Edition spoke recently with Philip Smock of the band Piano People, and he talked about his new album. Yeah, so we got this band together because we had a bunch of pianos in the garage. And we started writing this song with all the pianos in the garage. That was Peter Smock. So, yeah, that's basically what they kept playing. They didn't play like a variety of music from that artist. They just played the one song going dun, 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 over and over again. And it was like, play me something else from this band. And why is it basically is a commercial is what I'm trying to say. NPR is running commercials for bands. It used to be, we're going to help you discover new music. No, we're just running commercials now. And you could tell that they had to put zero production value into it because they got it from the record company. They got it straight from the artist. I don't like that, and I don't feel like my tax dollars should go towards funding NPR for that, is what I'm saying, Disgruntled Fiddle Player.
Yeah, I hear you. I didn't understand you, but I hear you.
Wonderful. And stay away from cows. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Yes, we are going to get to the segment Ain't Life Grand, because it's grand on St. Patrick's Day. Oh, it's got more Scottish there.
Get in my belly!
I meant more of a St. Patrick's Day. There we go. Something more like that, along those lines. I'm Peter Smock, and this is my music. Down. Bam, 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 bam. MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com has all the past shows, past interviews, and you can see the past podcast pictures, and you can help out the show through the Amazon link. Click on that and buy whatever it is you're going to buy. That helps us out tremendously. We're happy. We jump up and down, and we sing, and we do a jig, and then we go out on St. Patrick's Day because all the beautiful women go out wearing green, and green is the hottest color on a woman ever, outside of red, which is great when women wear red on the Valentine's Day. There we go. Yeah, so check out all that. You can help out through the Amazon link at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Bookmark that whenever you're going to buy anything on Amazon. Bookmark it and buy whatever you're going to buy. I missed Pi Day. I didn't talk about Pi Day this week, and I apologize. Yeah, that was on Tuesday. 3.14159 pi. And then there's a crazy movie. I would never watch that movie again, but I sat through it. It's Aronofsky? Is that who it is that directed that? I think that was like his first big movie. Then he went on later to do Requiem for a Dream and the big one, whatever that big one was. Is it? I can't think of it. Anyway, Cafe Anyway. That is the.
Anyway,
he usually has some movie that has to do with drugs and people dying, that kind of thing. Yeah, so that is the MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com website. Go there. And if you're going to buy anything on Amazon, go through that first, and that helps us out. And there's also a PayPal. You can become an Inglorious Mike's Daily Podcaster if you do that. Now the segment called Ain't Life Grand.
Ain't life grand.
On the St. Patrick's Day, we go actually to the UK, and British intelligence, according to The Guardian, they have denied an allegation that the UK helped former President Barack Obama wiretap Donald Trump during the 2016 election. The claim was repeated by the White House press secretary Sean Spicer, who he's got the worst job in the history of the world trying to defend Trump. Why y'all talk so badly about Trump is probably what you're saying. Is that what you're saying, Disgruntled Fiddle Player?
Yeah, well, I know you don't like him.
It's not, it's that, yeah, he's definitely not my first choice. And Sean Spicer has to cover Trump's butt. That's his job. And yesterday he dismissed as utterly ridiculous. The claim was dismissed by the GCHQ spokesperson. British intelligence. The spokesperson added in a statement, recent allegations made by media commentator Judge Andrew Napolitano. Oh, yeah. About GCHQ being asked to conduct wiretapping against their then president-elect, are nonsense. They are utterly ridiculous and should be ignored. Napolitano just says crazy stuff. But for what I enjoyed was when, Jon Stewart of The Daily Show used to rail against Napolitano constantly, and then finally got him on The Daily Show, and they did this fun little game show with him, and they're trying to do, because Napolitano just acts like everything he says is the truth when he's obviously lying. And then Jon Stewart was calling him on it, and it was just great television. And it's online. They couldn't, back in those days, the last few days of Jon Stewart's, or last few years of Jon Stewart's reign on The Daily Show, they couldn't fit the whole interview into the show. And Jon would look at the camera and go, hey, look, if you want the entire interview, go online. It was, try to bump up their clicks on their website for Comedy Central. But this week, Napolitano, Fox News' judicial analyst, and I don't know what's going on with that hair, claimed during an interview on the network that 3 intelligence sources confirmed to him that the Obama administration used GCHQ to spy on Trump so that there would be no American fingerprints on this. Sean Spicer quoted Napolitano's allegation in an effort to validate Trump's unfounded claim. That more and more people, it's so funny because Trump just said it as it was Friday night and it was Saturday morning. Who knows how much scotch he drank? I'm not saying the president's a drunk, but whatever. Maybe he was trying to unwind like lots of people do. And he just pulled out his phone and started tweeting. And he tweeted just weird, crazy conspiracy stuff. Because that's what he is. He has a conspiracy theorist fevered mind. And if you voted for him and you disagree with me, that's fine. Mike, that's just how the media paints him. He's not really a conspiracy theorist. He's completely rational. Stop with it. And the stuff that Trump is doing, the defunding and whatnot, that's only going to hurt the people that voted for him. And Nancy Pelosi tried to say that the other day in a speech in the nicest possible way. but she didn't. She backed off, and it's basically no. Red states voted for Trump. They're going to get screwed because they get a lot of money from the government, and those programs are going to be gone. Hey, I think we just got the liberal rating back on the show today. Yay! You know what? Finally, there. Where's my applause? Yay! Well, the point being that Trump was just doing that, tweeting. It just felt like saying something. And then everybody, since this affects so many layers of government, all the layers of government have to research it and go, and all this work and the tax dollars that Trump had caused from just saying that one thing as a whim, basically he should just shut up. His Twitter account should be taken away from him. And I know a lot of Trump supporters that agree with me. His Twitter should be taken away, his account. Or he should go underground like Adele does, like I mentioned in the last show. Because look at all the tax dollars spent to try and figure out if what he said, just as sort of a gut thing, are true. British and American intelligence agencies cooperate closely. By the way, and the media has had a field day with it, and so maybe they're the ones that are the actual winners out of all this, because they've got the eyes watching them and got the viewership up because of something. So if Trump lost his Twitter, then, well, we wouldn't have the segment, the Royal Trump tweet decree thing, and media wouldn't have anything to talk about, and I guess I wouldn't have anything to talk about. So I guess he should keep his Twitter. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying. Then, let's just really quickly here. Along with their counterparts, intelligence agencies from Britain and America, they cooperate closely. Along with their counterparts from Australia, New Zealand, and Canada, they are members of the Five Eyes, which all work together on intelligence, according to documents released by the whistleblower Edward Snowden. And you know, you gotta love those WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks! I love WikiLeaks!
That's what Trump said. According to documents released by Edward Snowden, British officials allowed their U.S. counterparts to store and analyze British citizens' internet and email records. And Snowden also revealed that America's National Security Agency paid £100 million to GCHQ in secret. All right. Well, there we go. As we go outside a cafe anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley. I hope you've enjoyed today's St. Patrick's Day edition of Mike's Daily Podcast. The next show, we're gonna tone it down a little bit. We'll have to, because this I think this green root beer that the Brewmaster gave me has given me a viral infection. I might be using some of Basil's antibiotics. Just kidding, Basil. I'll just go ahead and make some tea and it'll all be better. Some Irish tea. Hey, have a Guinness or whatever you do to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. I like corned beef and cabbage. Yes, that disgusting red meat and cabbage with some potatoes. Oh, potatoes for today. Now I've just gone British. This isn't complete. Where'd my Irish accent go? I can't find it. Enjoy your day. Have a great weekend. Listen to my country radio show on countrycrossroadsradio.com. Avoid the cow poop. And yes, I'll be on countrycrossroadsradio.com tomorrow in the afternoon and on Sunday in the afternoon. That's pretty much it. I kind of let this go a little too long, didn't I? Oh well. In the words of Gilly, sorry. And I can't find Gilly. Gilly, where are you?
Sorry.
There we go.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!